Yes guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing the top 10 worst transfers in the Premier League this season. We're ranking them from 10th to 1st, so starting at 10, which would be the okay-ish one, and then the first one is going to be the worst signing in the league. If you do guys enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, starting off with our number 10, Callum. Yeah? Who you got?
Raheem Sterling.
Oh, okay, yep.
So I know he's barely played, but did Arsenal really need Sterling?
I feel like they did need a player in that position.
You look at who they have already.
Yeah.
They have Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, and obviously that young one. I forgot his name.
Skelly.
That's the one.
Skelly. Yeah.
That's two right wingers, two left. That's all you really need. And Sterling's not that player he once was at City.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was screaming out for a striker, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, and you go and sign a winger.
Yeah, I mean, their left wingers haven't been performing this season. That's why I said they do need him, but he
keeps getting injured.
Exactly, yeah, and you know, Trossard and Martinelli haven't been up to it, and I can understand why they got someone in, but he's got to be playing. Do you know what I mean? He's got to be in the game.
Anytime he has the opportunity to, he's out of an hamstring or a calf, it's just at this point he's kind of wasting away on a loan where everyone at first went, oh, it could be quite decent, but I'll put 10th.
I put Chiesa at 10th. I feel like 12 million was a cheap fee, so that's why he's quite high up. But I saw it when it first came in that he's not going to play. The man's been injured. He's missed like so many games for Juventus when he was there,
and he's now doing the same with Liverpool.
Exactly, yeah. And I can just see him easily going back to Serie A in the mid-table club, because you're not going to be going back to a big team where they're expecting players to be playing week in, week out, and if you can't do that, what's the point in you being there? And you can be on such high wages 100%. As well. So yeah, it's just been a waste of money, and he's only played 18 minutes in the league this season for Liverpool. Like, you're paying 12 million for him, you know.
Wasn't that a cup game as well?
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, and yeah, it's just not been good enough. So for me, Chiesa at 10th. On to our number 9 now.
I Chiesa.
Oh, Chiesa at number 9. Yeah, that's fair enough. I went with Wilson Odobert of Tottenham.
Oh yeah. I forgot they signed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 25 million they signed him for from Burnley. Was it?
It was Burnley. Yeah.
So yeah, he's been injured for the majority of it. He looked good when he first came in, though. I think he scored for them early in the season, but
he got some like Burnley as well. He was really good.
That's what I mean. It's 25 million. That's what sort of the scrutiny is. Like, you spent quite a lot of money on him. And Spurs have suffered a result. They're having to pay Timo Werner week in, week out, and that man is shocking. Like, he is awful. And
it's funny to watch.
You know, and you need an Odobert in there. They've missed him.
Tricky.
Yeah, they've missed him so much in that left wing spot. So yeah, that's why he's in this list, because I feel like he's sort of not brought the team down, but sort of, you know, made the team suffer because of his absence. So yeah, number 9 I went with Odobert. Who you gone with number 8?
Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
I just thought he's only gone there because Maresca's gone there.
Yeah.
And I felt like Maresca at first went, well, we have two centre mids, so I know you paid 100 million from both.
Yeah.
They might not perform well, we might have Dewsbury Hall, but it kind of seems like them £100 million players are levels above what Dewsbury Hall was.
That's it.
35-40 million.
To me, it was just a Danny Drinkwater 2.0.
Oh, it is.
You know,
it reeks of it.
Yeah, it does, and he's a waste of money, to be fair. And he didn't. I forgot about him. He didn't make my list, but yeah, he's definitely up there, 100%.
Yeah,
number 8, I went with Vlachmadis of Newcastle, the goalkeeper.
Oh my God, yeah, he signed him from Forest, didn't he?
For like 20 million or something. The transfer kind of stinks, to be honest, because there's no they need a goalkeeper. Nick Pope's always injured. You know, they need someone
not great with feet.
Yeah, you know, they need someone coming in who's going to be young and experienced. Vlachmadis is nearly in his late 20s now, and that's okay for a goalkeeper. That's quite good, but you're paying 20 million for someone who doesn't even get a look in. They prefer Dubravka as a replacement for him.
Mad.
Which you know what I mean, this is why it stinks, because in the transfer they were saying Newcastle officials were involved, and Eddie Howe had no say in the transfer at all.
So it
seems like it's more money based rather, to help Forest out 100%. And balance the books, on both ends.
Because they were both in trouble with FFP, weren't they?
Yeah, and the transfer kind of stinks, to be honest. And he's not playing. Even when he can play, they're playing Dubravka instead. It's just, I didn't like the transfer. It didn't make sense, and we're seeing this season it still doesn't make sense. So yeah, I went with him at number 8. Number 7, I went with Raheem Sterling. So what we said before. Who'd you go number 7?
James Ward-Prowse. He's quite high.
Yeah,
but I've kind of felt that's because of it was really a nothing signing at the time.
Yeah.
I know it was only a loan move and stuff like that. But look at how well Forest have done, and James Ward-Prowse hasn't played.
That's it. Dominguez in midfield has been a quality player. Yeah.
I think he's signed from Bologna.
Yeah. Ryan Yates as well. Is it Ryan Yates?
He is Ryan Yates. I remember him in the Championship. He wasn't as good as he was.
No, he's been quite underrated, hasn't he, this season? So
he's been one of the key players for Forest and also our third. And
then when you think of Ward-Prowse, he's been in the Premier League for years, and if you can't get him over them, it's it does say a lot about
his career's declining.
Yeah, 100%. So number 6 now. I'll go with Ilkay Gundogan of Man City.
Okay.
I just felt like the expectations. I know you didn't like the signing, but I feel like there was a lot of people go, "Oh, what a signing! Free transfer, Ilkay Gundogan. He's just going to come in and pick up where he left off, where he was previously at us."
But there's a reason Barca let him go on a free.
Yeah,
that's the way I was.
But also, I feel like that's in terms of their. Look at Danny Almo now. He can't get registered, so I feel like this might be because of that. But he's coming in, and the expectations were high. The Rodri injury happened, and he has been poor. I'm not going to lie, he's been awful, and he's nothing like he used to be. And it's just been poor. And look at us now; we're not even in the Champions League spot. So, and our sort of main weakness is that midfield where Gundogan is. So he's got to be in this list for me. So Gundogan, number 6.
I have Brereton Diaz.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
When I first heard of the signing, obviously he's at Southampton, and when he was at Sheffield United last year, obviously he got 6 goals in 14 games.
Yeah.
That's for the back end of how bad Sheffield United were.
Yeah.
He was their best player by far. And when he went to Southampton, I thought, do you know what? It's good for him to be a kind of Sheffield United fans, a more established side.
Yeah.
He's been awful.
He's
been absolutely, and he's been dropped for Paul Nuachu.
He is the worst footballer I've ever watched play football. The man can't take a touch. He can't do nothing. He's just big and strong. That's all he is.
If you're being dropped by him, there is obviously something seriously wrong with his ability.
Yeah. Right, at number 5 now, I have got Eddie Nketiah of Crystal Palace.
I have also got Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah. He's only started 4 times this season for Palace, in a total of 12 appearances. And he's
30 million quid.
30 million.
Lots of money for Palace, especially.
That's it. And he's got 0 goals. He hasn't scored in the Premier League this season for Palace. Only scored in the Cup. But 30 million. And when we were looking at it as well, when he come in, everyone could see that it wasn't a £30 million player. Like everyone could see that, and Palace paid the money, and it hasn't performed. Mateta's still doing his thing up top.
As usual,
That's it. And Nketiah hasn't stepped up in his absence when he has been missing. So, for me, Nketiah is number 5.
Yeah. And now number 4. Who do you have?
I've gone with Falkao.
Okay.
Yeah, Falkao of West Ham.
He actually didn't make my list. I kind of forgot about him.
Yeah, fair enough. 30 million. For Falkao. He had a really good Euros as well. Like everyone was raving about him.
I remember the 5-1 against Scotland when he scored on the top goal.
Yeah, he looked like a really prolific striker, and something that West Ham were needing, to be honest. Danny is getting old now. Mikel Antonio, before what's happened, he was getting on, and they needed a striker who's going to come in and do the job. But he hasn't been that. He's been injured for quite a majority of it. Hasn't featured much, and I just feel like for 30 million, you're buying a 30-year-old. It's a big risk.
It is a lot.
Because if it doesn't work out, you're stuck with a guy until he's about 32, 33, and you're not going to sell him on for anything.
Which they've possibly got now.
Yeah, exactly.
See, my number 4 is, I think it's relatively high now I've seen it, but Calvin Phillips.
Okay, yeah.
That man's career has gone on a massive downfall. It's been awful since the 2020 Euros, and he's now playing for Ipswich, who he is a liability for him. I don't know if you've ever watched any Ipswich games.
Yeah, I watched a few,
Red cards, bad challenges, missing play. Like he can barely shoot a pass anymore, and it's just sad to watch. Yeah,
and you're seeing on like various news articles that he's not up to speed at Ipswich, and they're thinking of recalling him, all that stuff. That is so poor. Like
especially for Ipswich as well, who I thought he would have really suited their system. He's fun passer to
tough tackle as well.
Yeah,
has a good tackling in, and England experience. He's been in England, you know what I mean? And
exactly, you would have thought after his stint at Leeds, obviously he didn't do too well at City.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stayed up with Leeds as well, didn't he?
He did.
He's got that experience, and he's sort of let himself down this season. Obviously, he hasn't been up to the races. So, fair enough. Number 3 now, the top 3. I've gone with João Felix.
I've also gone with
João Felix, yeah. Brought with Atletico for 45 million. They sort of had a loan stint a few years ago, I think, didn't they, with him? And he was alright.
He was alright, yeah.
Yeah, he was okay, but signing a guy for 45 million and then only playing him in the Conference League, what is the point? What was the point in playing for 45 million just to play him in Conference League games and then bring off the bench every now and again in the Prem? I didn't see the point in it, to be honest.
And you can kind of, and the way I've graded this is you can kind of put him and Nkunku in the kind of same boat.
Yeah.
Because both of them they played the same exact position, the same exact role.
Yeah.
And you're not signing any of them.
Number 2, I went with Max Kiemann at West Ham.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he was brought in for such a huge fee from Wolves, you know, and he was meant to replace Zuma, who was solid for West Ham for many years.
He was.
Got to obviously won the Conference League with him as well, so big expectations for Kiemann.
And there's a lot of I don't know what the right word is. A lot of rave about him.
Yeah. I mean,
at Wolves.
Yeah, and he was, you know, with Lopetegui when he was there. So everyone
was linked with Napoli at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he's just, I don't know, he just hasn't settled in. And when he plays bad, he is horrendous.
Awful.
Like, I watched the game against Leicester when they lost 3-1, I think it was. Van der Straat's first game, maybe.
Yes.
And yeah, that man, honestly, he was so slow.
Yeah,
giving the ball away constantly. And their third goal, the Daka goal I mentioned in the video before, he was just so relaxed when he was running at him 1v1, and Daka just, you know, made him look silly. So yeah, he just wasn't good enough in that game at all. And yeah, for me, Max Kiemann, for the fee and for the expectation as well, he's got to be in my list. So yeah, I put him at number 2.
I didn't have Kiemann in my list.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Controversial.
I had another centre half.
Yep.
Matthias de Ligt.
Yeah, good shot. He didn't make my list, to be fair. There's loads of people you can put in here.
The reason why, right, he just looks like another Dutch Harry Maguire.
Yeah,
he really does.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of goals this year where he kind of, the ball clipped off him and he's just looking like another, like,
clumsy sort of defender.
And
yeah.
Obviously they signed Lenny Euro. They thought we need a centre half next to him. We get Matthias de Ligt, and it was quite a small fee they got for the calibre of player. I think about 45 million they signed for de Ligt, and everyone thought, great signing. They're playing Casemiro over him.
Yeah,
I know he's been injured and stuff like that, but if you're playing Casemiro over Matthias de Ligt, there's a real problem.
But there's no improvement when he comes into the squad, is there?
They're just the same.
Yeah. So top spot now. I've gone with Joshua Zirkzee.
So have I.
Yeah.
I've gone with Zirkzee.
Yeah. Signed for around 40 million. I think it was 35, 40 million.
36.5.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like he was signed as to be a starter. You know, that striker spot is up for grabs. Højlund is, you know, can be a mixed bag sometimes, and 100%. He was signed to sort of couldn't contest with him, but he's been awful.
Apart from that first game where he scored against Fulham, the last minute winner against Fulham, he's just been awful, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's been absolutely awful.
And then he come out in an interview saying he's not a striker. You know, he's not. He's sort of like a mixture of a number 10 and a number 9.
But he's neither.
Yeah, and it's like
he's better off. Remember the Roy Keane coach? You want to get him a coach back home.
That's it. Yeah,
it's like, honestly, he's so bad.
Yeah,
and especially for the price. I know 40 million is going to be quite cheap to a lot of people, but I think 40 million is quite a lot for that sort of player.
He's made 18 appearances for United in the league, and he's only started 6 times, and that's just not good enough for me. Like, especially when that striker spot is started for grabs, he should be making his mark, but he's 100%. Not. And Amorim was criticising him in the media, saying that he should be getting into the box more when they have it in the wide areas, but he's not. And what is that? What is he then? If he's not playing as a striker, why would you sign someone who's not a natural number 9? Yeah, at number 1 spot we had Joshua Zirkzee. So let us know your ranking in the comments down below. Any that we got wrong, anyone that we sort of missed out as well. Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next one. Don't forget.